Yo, 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 what up? Back at it again. Real Fans Podcast. We're here. We got all the boys in the house. I'm Gabe. That's Julian. This is JoJo. Yo, say what's up to the
on, fellas?
Yo, we're
What's
back
going
at it
on?
again.
What's going on?
Julian
Yes.
rocking the Marlins hat today.
Opening
Wow,
day.
shocker. Look at this guy. He's a baseball
Opening week.
Wow.
Opening week. Die hard, dude. I'm a
Julian
die
in
hard.
baseball? Is that a thing? Is that a
I'm a
thing
die
now?
hard.
He's trying this year? They
How
won a
do you feel
game
about-
and he's on the bandwagon.
How do you feel about Jazz Chisholm, Julian? How do you feel about him?
I don't know who that is.
Wow. That is the second baseman, the flashy second baseman of the
The
Marlins.
Bahamian Prince. The Bahamian
Yo,
Prince.
this guy's
Who
nice.
knows that?
He's contact
when we go to the playoffs,
steals bases.
when we go above 500, I'll start watching.
Yeah,
They're
right.
one and 4 right now.
Already under
1 and 4 right now.
Anyways, we're gonna talk a lot about. We're gonna talk real quick a little bit about baseball. I'll talk NFL and NBA, but let's talk a little baseball because today some tremendous. There was like some history probably was about to be made and it didn't get made. LA Dodgers were playing. Kershaw was dealing. I believe he went 7 innings on 80 pitches, which is incredible. That's 10. That's 10 pitches per inning, Julian, and that's incredible. That's an incredible pace. And he struck out I think 12 or 13 people.
10 pitches per inning is that's amazing. That's really good.
I mean, you got to throw 3 to strike out somebody. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
12.
That's
So,
really good.
He's dealing. So he was dealing today, and Dave Roberts took him out in the 7th inning, and he was headed towards possibly a perfect game. I mean, he was pitching really well. JoJo, I mean, in baseball, when your pitcher's dealing, do you want to take him out the game, or do you leave him in? What's going on?
Hey, listen, I know it's early on in the season and, maybe this game, was important or not to the Dodgers. Honestly, every game matters, right? And you're competing at a professional level. And if you had a chance to make history, let the man make history. I think that was
blue ball.
ridiculous. That's like taking Will Chamberlain out of the fourth quarter and he's at 99 points and you're like, I think he had enough. You're going to take him out and not let him get that 100 mark. Like, what was that about? For reference, for the fans listening right now, there have been 220,000 MLB games played and there's only ever been 23 perfect games. And Clayton Kershaw was 2 innings away from a perfect game. Not a no-hitter, meaning a perfect game. No one got on base. No one walked. No one had a hit. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's insane. That was a Kevin Cash move.
Oh, I didn't know you meant like no hits
perfect
either.
game.
Nothing.
I'm
hits,
thinking
no walks. A no-hitter is like, all right, you walk somebody, they get on base, but no one has
Or
a hit.
error,
Yeah,
and no hitter.
or on an
honestly,
error,
I thought a no hitter was just a perfect game. I didn't realize walks counted against you.
Yeah.
Well,
Perfect game means the batter comes up, batter sits down. That's a perfect game.
No one got on
I mean, it's kind of crazy because if you look at I got to pull up Kershaw's accolades, but he, this guy, biggest criticism is him doing the playoffs because he always has a regular season, and then always shit the bed.
They get smoked in the playoffs, or
shit the bed in the playoffs. But last year they came out. The Dodgers did win.
2 years ago,
get the chip. Yeah, 2 years.
2 years ago. Yeah,
that's what I meant.
That's that. He redeemed himself,
and he played well. He played well in that series in the playoffs. With a guy like with a storied career like this, like you want to see him throw, especially yes, it's early in the season. I understand you have whatever 175 million games to play, but like leave him in. He's playing well. He's young. It's the beginning of the season. It's not like this is we have to save him for tomorrow for Game 7 or something. Like let him play. Like let him get his accolades. You know what I mean? Like let him
for
pitch.
anyone, big name player, small name player, like look at the numbers. If he was at 120 pitches, 100 pitches, I understand. You want to save his arm, right? That's your start.
Yeah.
He's under 100 with 2 innings to go. You never know. You can have a 1, 2, 3 inning, 3-pitch inning, which is possible. Hey, people swing at the first pitch. That could be a ground ball out. It could be pop fly. It could be anything. You know what I mean? Line back to the pitcher. And I don't think we talked about it last episode, but did you hear? I don't know if it was in Japan, that pitcher who threw a perfect game with like 19 strikeouts, and we're all talking about it over here in the U.S. because it's just a baseball stat. Doesn't matter if you do it in high school, if you do it on the college level, triple A, double A, single A, it's almost impossible to throw a perfect game. And you took away his chance. Honestly, I know he's feeling it. I saw him in the dugout. He's playing it cool. Everybody's high-fiving him. But what did you really accomplish? And I heard, apparently, I didn't see the game, but the next pitcher that came in gave up a hit, like, almost right away. You know, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, if you guys in the groove, like I said, I mentioned before, that's a Kevin Cash move. That's the manager of Tampa Bay Rays. We all remember what happened 2 seasons ago in the playoffs when he pulled his pitcher who was dealing, but that's just their system. They're going to keep the pitchers rotating in, and I don't like the move, man. I don't like the move.
And just update, the game did end. It was 7-0, 1 hit by the Minnesota Twins. They got 1 hit on 2 errors. So yeah, the game wrapped up.
Listen,
Kershaw,
and that's the best thing you can ask for when you got a pitcher dealing. The confidence of the hitters, it's gone. Does not exist. Once you get a new pitcher in, everyone relax. Like, oh, finally, we have a shot, man. But
so that's pretty insane. I think it's pretty. I mean, you know, we'll follow baseball, especially the Dodgers. A lot of expectations with the Dodgers going forward. They're kind of expected to go back because they did sign big players. Like, they're still the heavy favorite, I believe, in the West, or not the West, National League. I would say West Coast because they're in California. But yeah, that's MLB baseball. We're covering some more stuff. Hopefully,
real quick. Fuck the census. Like, these motherfuckers. Like, I don't know why they're at my door. It's 2022. Why are you at my door?
That's why you left.
Yeah. Well, I didn't open the door. I just looked at the peephole and I just see like a fucking form, and I'm like, I'm good, dude. I'm not trying to donate anything. Like, I'm like.
Anyways, let's transition over.
Hates the census.
NFL news. They still making news. They haven't played a game in months, in weeks. Oh my God, he's got to go back. But NFL, the news keeps spinning. Jojo, did you hear about the Dolphins story? What's transpired about this Dolphins story?
I did not. What's going on with that over here?
So apparently there was a report by, I believe, Pro Football Talk, which is like, you know, pretty popular publication for football, Pro Football Talk.
Yeah.
They came out with a report with sources saying that Tom Brady was going to be a thing in Miami. The Miami Dolphins were going to be guaranteed Tom Brady. So now remember, we had to go back because after, you know, we had this playoff run, they lose the playoffs. A couple weeks pass, and Tom Brady's like, "Goodbye, Tampa. Thank you for coming. You know, thank you for the memories. We did it. We won the chip. Thank you." And everybody thought he was going to retire. Everybody gave Tom Brady his flowers, whatever. But apparently the story is he was not going to retire from football. What he was going to do was retire from the Tampa Bay Bucks. Because they were trying to, it seems like Stephen Ross was trying to backdoor Tom Brady to come back to the Miami Dolphins, or come to the Miami Dolphins. And there was a deal in place, like he was going to get some ownership deal, like on the back end, like after he officially retired, he was going to get a back end deal where he's going to get.
Well, remember he bought that property too in like Sunny Isles, because I think this all led up to, because I don't know if you remember, we talked about a couple months ago when stuff came out in the. That he was supposed to go to Miami instead of going to Tampa after New England. And then they dropped the ball because Brian Flores didn't want him. I think Brian Flores didn't want him. And there was just like this whole like issue. They wanted to stick with Ryan Fitzpatrick. And then that's when it came out like that motherfucker. Like they were talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick and they're talking about the Miami Dolphins. So it sounded like he was trying to like redeem the fact that they missed out on him going to Tampa. So like, all right, let's try to get him now. And then they dropped the fucking ball again.
I mean, look what happened. He won a ring in his first year with Tampa Bay. Of course, they were probably like regretting that decision. Like, damn, we could have had.
To be fair, though, Tampa was the better team, though. Tampa was that time
they were
by
prime.
far.
They were prime too.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of weird. It's funny how it turns out because, you know, one of the biggest criticisms was like, "Oh, Tom Brady, why don't you say thank you to the Patriots? Like the Patriots, like that was your team, your whole career. You played with them, and you didn't say goodbye to them. You didn't say thank you to them." And a lot of Patriots fans were pissed off. It was because he wasn't really retiring. He was just trying to find his way.
He was retiring from Tampa Bay, essentially.
And there's a lot of connections. Stephen Ross is the owner of the Miami Dolphins. Is a huge. I think he's a Michigan alum, University of Michigan alum, that's where Tom Brady went to school. And for a long time there was rumors that maybe they're going to get Jim Harbaugh because Jim Harbaugh is the college coach, the college football coach for Michigan. And they're like, you're going to get Jim Harbaugh or whatever. But it turns out not only were they supposed to get Tom Brady, but they also get Sean Payton. Now, JoJo, I don't know if you remember, I have a refresh your memory. Sean Payton last year or this past year, he said he was going to retire. He was going to be done. Like he's not going to be
coach for the Saints, right?
For the Saints,
yeah.
And they had a a pretty bad season, and their prospects like next year are not going to be looking good. They're not going to do much.
Jameis.
They might be less. Yeah, they might be less than a 500 team. And he announced that he was going to quit coaching, but it turns out that he was also part of the play. So they were trying to get Sean Payton to be the head coach, Tom Brady to be the quarterback.
Holy shit!
But what ended up
that's a lot of moving parts. That's a whole scheme. That's not even.
Is this conspiracy? Like, how true is this? Like, I mean, like,
where are the facts, Gabe?
I could see the Brady thing, but the Sean Payton thing, I don't know if I buy that. I can see the Brady thing because he's openly talked about going to Miami and all this stuff. That makes sense, but the whole Sean Payton thing, like, where did that even come from? I feel like that dude is done. Like, I think he's done.
That dude is done.
Turns out all this got blowed up because they fired Brian Flores, and Brian Flores sued. Not only did he sue the Giants because remember he had a thing where Bill Belichick texts him the wrong name. He's like, "Oh, you're the wrong Brian. It's not Brian Flores. It's Brian Dable or whatever."
Lawsuit, right?
But he also sued. He also sued the Miami Dolphins.
He sued a lot of people. I think he sued the Broncos too, or something like that.
Damn,
he sued a good amount of teams. I don't remember which ones though.
So the reason this whole thing blew up is because Brian Flores sued them for like pretty much racism, like discrimination. Like you're firing me and you're gonna hire a white coach, and pretty much like this is the reason why Tom Brady is not a Dolphin and Sean Payton not a Dolphin. Apparently, he blew up the ring because Brian Flores was suing them, basically saying you're discriminating against me. I have a winning record. I have all these accolades, and why did I get fired? Like I didn't deserve to lose my job. All you're doing is that to go hire a white coach, which is why the whole thing blew up because the Dolphins are like, okay, we're getting sued for trying to hire a white coach. We can't be seen hiring a white coach after firing a black coach. So this is the whole thing. This is the whole. It was in the cards. Tom Brady was never going to retire. He was just trying to go to the Dolphins. Possibly Sean Payton coming back. Probably getting an ownership, which I don't know how that works because technically, if you give a player, you can't give them value as a player, right? Because if you give them part ownership, that should count towards the salary cap because that's value you give them. Even though you're not giving them money, if you're giving them a percentage of a value or something, that should count. So this was supposed to be like a back end deal. After he retires, then he will get ownership in Miami. And Miami Dolphins.
I don't know about the salary cap thing because you have to pay people through the salary cap. Like whatever he owns, that's his own personal investment. Like that has nothing to do with because he has to buy into the share.
But this is Stephen Ross trying to do back end deals, trying to like I said. Tom Brady is still under contract. He's in he I think signed 2 years, and he's he should be getting an extension, either extension or like a brand new offer from Tampa Bay.
This has to be his last year, I would imagine.
So
honestly, guys, wait, how do you guys feel like that he's back? Do you guys even care? Do you think people care? Like we're like,
yeah, of course.
We already kind of went over this in one of the episodes you were here, but yeah, I mean, I think he saw the opportunity. Just to quickly brief over what we were talking about that week. We just thought he saw an opportunity in the NFC for him to capitalize. NFC looks really weak right now.
Yeah.
And I think he also saw the AFC and was like, he's going to have to go through murderer's row to go back. And I think, the whole thing blew up with Miami, but like also it's like, man, are you going to want to go through like the AFC right now? Like with a team that like that.
Well, if you're Tom Brady, maybe you're trying to get revenge on Bill Belichick. You're trying to say, "Hey, look, I won in Tampa, without you. I'll go to Miami and I'll beat your ass twice a year." You know what I mean,
you think it runs that deep?
Yeah, you know what? Because
he already got his revenge.
The Dolphins weren't, a comparable. When Brady left, that Tampa Bay Bucs team was prime. Everyone was saying this is a good team. They had.
They were just.
They're tied. This is a good team. They were just a quarterback away. They had Jameis and they had all these people come through, and they never had a quarterback. And then once he went there, like, okay, this is bad. Like everybody knew, like, all right, they're already guaranteed a playoff spot. So it's just interesting to see. We'll see because, like I said, Tom Brady has his contract coming up, so he should either get an extension or what people are looking forward to now is seeing how many years would he get on the contract. Is it just a 1 year deal? Because if it's a 1 year deal, he's probably up out of it.
No shot they're extending him. I don't.
Or if he gets a multi-year deal, like 3-4 years, they'd be like, okay, he's really trying to stay in
4
Tampa.
years.
No shot, dude. He's gonna get one-off deals for the rest of his life. As long as he wants to play, he's gonna be getting one-year deals. Like, no shot this man's getting an extension like that. Like, he's gonna play out this year, and then that who knows? Like, I think he really is one championship away, and he's done though. Like a part of me feels like if he wins one,
wants to win and be out, win on top.
Yeah,
insane, bro. There's nothing left to prove. There's literally nothing left. I get the competitive spirit, and I love it. But 8 rings would just be insane. Like I
it's all he's ever known. I mean, it's just like
you're running out of
all he's ever known.
Like just.
Bro, it's all this man's ever known is playing football. Like, you gotta think for 44 years, like,
yeah, but you gotta look forward to the second chapter of your life, you know.
He did. He saw it and he was like, fuck that, and turned around.
Chapter of his life. You know, just like Peyton Manning's looking at the second chapter of his life. This guy is basically a freaking celebrity. Everyone loves this guy. Who knew such a great quarterback could have a great personality as well, you know? And
Tom Brady saw that and he's like, fuck that. I'm going back. He's like, He's like, nah.
He spent 2 weeks at home and is like, yeah, this ain't for me.
So just like I thought, I keep telling Tom Brady, please get out of my life. Turns out he was trying to get on my home team, but we'll follow that, man. So I think his extension should be offered like in August or something, right in the beginning of the season. Yeah. So we'll see. They're gonna bring this up again. This is not gonna be, the story hasn't ended on this one, especially with the lawsuit still being out there. So we shall see with that. And other quarterback news. Quarterback Derek Carr gets a 3-year extension from the Raiders. Julian, are the Raiders for real?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you got to go in there. You got to compete. I mean, like, there's no big time quarterback. He's honestly not a bad quarterback. He's a really solid quarterback. Is he enough to get you over the hump? I could see him doing it once. Let's just say that. Like, I don't think he's a guy that's consistently going to take you, like, make you contenders. But I could see him kind of like in a Phillip Rivers as, like, take you to a championship game. But, like, I don't see him ever taking you back. And I think the Raiders are in a situation where they're like, they have to win now with the division as tough as they are and the situation that they're in and the money they just spent and the coach that they have. Like, Derek Carr's not a bad. He's a very serviceable, really good quarterback. So I think the 3-year deal is great. I think 3 years is, to me, is plenty. Like, I feel like if they went longer than that, then I'd be like, I don't know. But I think 3 years is enough to see, like, all right, if he can't get us there, our team might still be intact to go after somebody else.
Go after someone else. See, my thing with the Raiders is obviously they're in a tough conference, but aside from the quarterback standpoint, what's stopping them from getting over the hump? Is it their defense, their O-line, like their receivers, their running game, or they're just an average team and they need to figure something out to get to that next step?
I think a lot of times, they play very well, especially early on. They play very well, and they're one of these teams that, like, they'll run the score on you, like, in the first half, and in the second half they just, like, disappear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the consistency throughout the whole game.
Something.
And Derek Carr,
consistency.
Yeah, and Derek Carr, he is a good player, like a good quarterback. He can throw it down the field. He has the weapons to, especially now that they traded. He has Devontae Adams. He has the weapons to do it. It's just being consistent, especially when you get into, put yourself in a position to get in the playoffs, and then having those good playoff games. And that division is super, super competitive. Like, Jojo, they're facing your Broncos. They have Russell Westbrook. Hey, they're facing fucking Justin Herbert.
Wilson. Yeah, I know. They got us good last season. I remember those games. We weren't looking our best, man, against the Raiders. I have no idea why, but obviously we made our changes, and our young core is gonna have another season to develop. So hey, it's gonna be an entirely different season here.
The thing with Carr,
the Raiders are gonna make, but hey, we made our adjustments.
See, the Raiders, they did a lot of stuff good in the offseason. I think the only thing that really held them back last year was just the off-the-field issues was just so, like, crazy. It was like one week after another.
They still did well.
I completely forgot about that. There was so much going on.
and they still made the playoffs, and they still made the Raiders and the Jags were like on the fucking news every single week for some nonsense. Like,
yeah, didn't the Raiders have a player with a DOI?
Yeah, Henry Ruggs is probably going to jail for God knows how long. Yeah, John Gruden was gone, lost their coach. The corner had like gun charges or something. And then like the special teams coach had to step in and be the head coach. And it was just like this whole thing. Now you're having Josh McDaniels in there. Kind of curious to see how he performs as a head coach. They did do some things in the free agency. But yeah, I mean, they should be good. They should be a playoff team. I think they're better than what they were last year. They should be, at least, especially from a play calling standpoint, on the defense and offense. Like I said, I think he's a guy that I think he can take you there if he can get you there. It's all about consistency. When it comes to Derek Carr, he's always been like a really solid like top 15 quarterback. But you never look at him as like that guy. Like every single year, you feel really good about him taking you like on a run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's always seems like a guy who really needs like a good team around him, and this is probably the best team he's ever had around him. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a huge Raiders follower, but like just from the outside perspective, this seems like the best Raiders team I've seen. Like probably as long as I can remember, for a long time, since they went to the playoffs and lost when John Gruden's first stint there. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I like the contract. I like the 3-year contract. I feel like I don't know if you want to give him a super long one because he has that inconsistency problem, and he's not like elite. So I don't mind it, and I guess we'll see in 3 years. I didn't really see the structure of the deal yet because as we're talking, it just dropped like a couple hours before we got on the show.
Yeah.
So I don't know the exact details of it. I don't know like if there's like a 30-year option, if that 30 years a 30-year option, like if they can get out in 2 years, or if it's like I don't know what the exact. I know it's like 121 mil for sure. So which to me it makes about sense. Like that sounds about right.
And if I feel like the elite quarterbacks already went. Like Russell already went. Aaron Rodgers signed. So like how many how
what are you gonna do? Yeah,
options do you have? Like unless you're gonna go in the draft, which is apparently this year is a terrible draft to draft quarterbacks. Like what are your options of acquiring? I mean, I still expect kind of some more moves maybe heading into the season, but there's not really. Everybody got settled. Everybody got settled in. There was a big rush for like a day or two. It was like 2 days where it was like crazy. Like people were shuffling around.
People are saying there's the rumors. Who knows how true this is? This all could be like smoke, but like apparently when draft day comes, it's going to be all kind. Just like we saw in free agency, when draft day comes, it's going to be crazy. You're going to start seeing. Supposedly, you're going to start seeing some moves. Will DK Metcalf move? Will supposedly you're going to see some stuff. We'll see, but I think it might just be talking out of their ass. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, hey, some teams that probably they know they're not going to go anywhere this season, going to give up some of their best players for some picks.
Shit, I hope the Jackson trade back. That'd be fucking nice. Like
they'll trade up in the draft to get some high prospects.
Yeah, we'll cover as we get closer because we got a little 2 more weeks till the NFL
15
combine.
days to the draft.
Julian really wants to talk about the NFL combine.
Countdown begins now.
Because he gets the first
next week. I think we should all talk about just kind of do a little bit of research and just figure out like what guys we like and what we hope our teams do.
You know who I like? I like Tua. Okay, Tua all the way.
Oh, here we go.
Anyway,
I was just crying for Brady. Come, Brady, come in.
You're gonna tank for Tua again this season? Is that a thing? Can you do it twice? Can you tank for Tua twice?
We'll cover it. We'll cover the combine and more NFL news. Obviously, the NFL's going to
draft, not
making news all the time.
Gabe, you're all over the place, man.
I know.
You're all over the place, Gabe.
You know what it is? I think Gabe's trying to enter the combine. He's been training.
He's been training. He's been working on his 40-yard dash.
Sweat going on right now on his forehead. That's what's going on. He's running ladder drills in the backyard over here.
Let us transition smoothly over to NBA news. Excuse me, NBA playoffs are going on. We just had to play we just had a playing game yesterday. JoJo was talking shit on the little WhatsApp. saying, "Oh, we're ducking." Miami Heat want to whatever. Anyways, let's talk about the games yesterday. Probably almost one of the exciting playing games. I don't know, you guys, Julian, how do you feel about playing? Like, they adopted this since the bubble season. How do you feel generally about NBA play-ins? Playing one game for your life.
I don't know. I just go with the playoffs, dude. Just 1 through 8. Just go. Like, if you didn't look, man, if you can't get the job done, you can't get the job done. Like, me and Gabe talked about that. Gabe asked me about that like 2 weeks ago. If you can't get the job done, you can't. If you can't get top 8 is not hard. Like, there's 15 teams on each side. If you can't get top 8 out of 15, you don't deserve to go to the playoffs. I'm sorry, like, you don't. Like, if you. I mean, you're talking about you just got to do better than less than half of your conference, and you can't do that. Like, no, you shouldn't get a chance. Like, I'm sorry, like, no, like, what, we're gonna start fucking opening up? What's the whole point of the regular season then? Yeah. Just let it go to 15. Fuck it, we'll do like March Madness. Who cares?
So yesterday we had play-in. We saw the Cavs play the Nets. And it looked like it was it's going to be kind of a just want to give you a game like, okay, we kind of know, but then they kind of got interesting at the end. I don't know if you guys saw the game. Got a little interesting at that fourth quarter where the Cavs started shooting. They made it close. I think they were down like 12 or something. They able to tie it up. But obviously the Nets win. I don't know if how much of the game you saw, JoJo. But what are your thoughts from?
I just know that your boys Kyrie and KD were cooking. And that's going to be the key to success. Obviously, you need your role players. But if you have two superstars out on the court, they're always going to be a threat to be a contender. And I'm telling you, that's the scary part, to have to beat them 4 times. Listen, we saw Milwaukee do it. It's not impossible, right? But when you have KD and Kyrie at full strength, both with championship experience, it's up to their leadership to lead their team, going into the next round. But that was just a smidge. That was just a taste of how efficient Kyrie and KD played. And I say efficient. I think Kyrie only missed like 3 shots yesterday. Started off like 9 for 9. And
I will say,
that's how they
let's
roll.
not get too carried away. I mean, at the end of the day, it is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, let's not get too in awe.
Give them credit
for winning, and they did it. But I'm just saying, let's not get too crazy. Like, oh shit, like they're back. Like, I've been seeing people just saying like they're back. They're gonna go on a run. Like, let's see how things play out in Boston when they play
I agree with you, but don't make the Brooklyn Nets sound like they're the Cavs. No,
I'm just saying, let's see when they play equal competition, because I'm saying, let's not forget this was the Cavs. Like, the Cavs ain't what they used to be.
Well, here's what I have to say to that. There's a reason why the Nets were in the play-in the first place. Obviously, all the stuff that happened this season, Kyrie playing half of the season, he couldn't even play home games. Harden wanted to get traded. KD was injured. You know what I mean? But now, hey, the team's set. They got the trade set. They got a squad. And I'm excited for that Celtics series. And I feel like don't undermine the Nets because they're a low seed. Like, they could have easily been a top 3-4 seed if it wasn't.
No, I agree.
10 things I just mentioned that went wrong with the season, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but
that's a lot. They went through a lot this season. That's some unordinary things. Like, you have a player that's part-time. You have one of your superstars who go ahead and leaves mid-season. And then your best player, are you top 3 player in the league, is out for 20-plus games.
I will say that pack KD had was fucking nasty. Dude, my God, that was crazy.
So I'm saying they could be scary, and I feel like the fans have every right to be as excited because you're going against like you said, an equal team, the Boston Celtics, and it's a series for a reason. It's not a play-in. You got to beat them 4 times, on both sides.
And I believe today, or was it yesterday, maybe last night, Ben Simmons put out a picture of him in his shoes on the court, and he just had an eye emoji. So it seems like Ben Simmons will possibly come back for them.
Difference maker.
He's ruled out for the season. He's already ruled out for the season. They stated, the team stated it. Stephen A went off. Apparently, has a Ben Simmons has a back injury, and Stephen A is like, yo, where did you get this injury? You didn't play all season. Like, we deserve an explanation. Like, how do you just get a back injury out of nowhere? You didn't do anything.
Yeah. Gabe, real quick, so you asked me what I thought of the play-in. JoJo kind of agreed with me. What do you think? You agree with us?
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the plan, man. It makes it more exciting, especially for young players, young teams. Teams that are like on the skirt. It's like a wild card. I mean, NFL has a wild card. You got like the wild.
That's
card.
Different, dude.
I know baseball has the wild card too, but
the wild card to me is different though, because you have division leaders and then you have the best records above that, and that's less slots too.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it, especially because a lot of these teams are, barely 500. You know what I mean? Like,
all right. Games. One thing I could say, not to cut you off, Gabe. I guess in a sense, it could make it more of an incentive to get every single win throughout the season because you don't want to be in that play-in spot. Yeah. So the top 6 teams are literally fighting to stay out of that, and they're gonna play.
But isn't that the same thing already, just with the top 8?
Yeah, but
it's essentially the same thing.
Who would want to be in a play-in?
But what I'm saying is, like, I get what you're saying, but like, who would want to be out of the playoffs? Like, you already have that. You just increase it to 6 instead of 8. And I just feel like you can have 7 and 8 have like above 500 or slightly above 500 or slightly below, but then you can have 9 and 10 have fucking 30 wins and be like 10 games below 8. And it's like, no, that team does not deserve to even have a remote chance of
and that's what I was thinking. I'm like, that 9th seed could be 10 games behind the 8th seed, or they could be absolute trash and garbage the whole season.
Like, you don't deserve a chance.
You're gonna get a shot for the play-in, like.
At least in March Madness, like, all those colleges and those programs deserved a chance to get in there. Like, you had to get in there. Like, these fucking play-in games are just like, I mean, it's just stupid. But then again, it's more money, so they'll never get rid of it.
I'm fine with it. It makes it more exciting. Like I said, all these little French teams, they get excitement. If you're your town, like, I don't want to ever be in the play-in. Like, I want to be a top 5 seed, whatever. But it makes that city or that town or those fans more interested in the season, more excited. Obviously, you see. We can talk about the next game that went on because we actually saw the Clippers play the Timberwolves. And
real quick, before we do that, do you just want to run through the East? We'll run through the East matchups.
Let's talk about last night, and then we'll talk about the preview and that's coming up because we have games today as well. So let's talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Clippers. Based on the reactions post game last game, you would have thought they won the actual championship. You thought?
Yeah, honestly, I thought last night was the finals. It wasn't the finals.
They celebrated like it was the final.
I thought the season was over already. You give it to the Timberwolves.
So, Jojo, I don't know if you saw any parts of the game.
That's what happens when you have a play-in. These motherfuckers think they won the fucking.
Shout out to your boy Patrick Beverley, NBA Finals MVP. Because that's what it seemed like last night. And I get his passion. I respect his passion and, all the shit talking he did last night. He beat a team that I guess basically, wrote him off, right? The Clippers. He said he put blood, sweat, tears in that organization. And, they said he was too old, couldn't keep up, was not efficient, this, that, and the third. And then for him to, beat him in a play-on to move on, to the playoffs. And we all know Patrick Beverley's energy. He's gonna tell you like it is. Like, it doesn't matter. He could go 0 for 10 and he'll have the key steal at the end and act like he dropped 30 bomb on you for the game. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just the type of player he is. And he let it show last night, man. They got a good team. You got Cat, you got Anthony Edwards, good young core. Like, Anthony Edwards was going off. And he stated, I guess Patrick Beverley's energy is rubbing off on these young players now because they're talking the talk too. He said, hey, that team looked like they were scared to guard me. He was taking it to the hole, step back threes. He was doing it all.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty exciting game. I mean, the only person who played actually terrible was Karl Anthony Towns. He had an absolute shit game. I think the guy he said 4 buckets, like 5 rebounds.
He got fouled out, bro.
Turnovers. He fouled out
early.
He ain't do jack shit. But I mean, the rest of the team, the rest of the team carried, especially like Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, I think, announced himself as like, he's like the future of the league. Like,
look out for this kid. He is. He's definitely, one of the key players in the future of the league for sure.
Super young, but with the Clippers, it's like, this is a Clippers story, bro. They're just like the little brother. They're the Lakers' little brother. They're just like the odd man out. They're always always last.
Kudos to them. At least they made the play in, and they didn't have PG or Kawhi for majority of the season, so I don't blame them at all.
Bro, just wait till Paul George gets on that court, bro. Just wait. He's gonna show up.
He was playing.
I said, just wait. That's what I'm saying. Wait till playoffs start. He gonna go.
Keep taking that talk. So, Timberwolves obviously are NBA Finals champions. Actually, they'll go on
NBA Finals champion.
I think they secured the 7th seed. So, who are they going to be playing? They're going to be playing Memphis. Is what they secured. They secured 7th seed. But there are a couple games today that we can talk about going forward. Today, the Hornets play the Hawks. And Jojo, I just want to get a preview from you. How do you feel about this matchup, Hornets against the Hawks? Like, who do you think is going to turn out this game?
All right, check this. First off, Hornets haven't proved anything yet to anyone in the last few seasons. They do have a young team, but I don't know if you guys know, your boy Trae Young, first of all, he proved last year that he's going to show up in the playoffs. He's going to show up. Second, he led the entire league in total points and total assists, and he's the first player to ever do that in college and in the NBA. So shout out to Trae Young. We should have bought those rookie cards.
Throwback to the real fans.
Let's go back to episode 3 when Julian told us to buy Trae Young rookie cards. And honestly, that's an insane stat. Like, he led the entire league in total points and total assists. I don't remember who was the last player to do that in the NBA. It's a while ago. But he, like I said, he was the first player to do that in NCAA and in the NBA. So that's a great look for the Hawks, man. They got a golden nugget there with Trae Young. This guy's the truth. And we saw
they can build upon it and he doesn't leave.
Listen, we saw what he did to the Knicks last season in the first round, and then we saw what they did to Philly in the second round. Took down the top seed.
Bro, the Knicks never recovered.
No,
the Knicks never recovered.
They did worse. They didn't even make the play-in. So
remember when they're chanting they're undefeated after they won the first game of the year?
They won one playoff game.
No, I'm talking about the beginning of the year. They were 1-0, and they were saying they're undefeated.
But yeah, the playoff game too. That was their first playoff win since like 2008 or some shit like that. Like, it's ridiculous. But I got the Hawks winning unless LaMelo goes for like 35-point triple-double and gets everyone involved, because it's the same season every year for the Hornets. They have a lot of flashy players. They have a lot of guards. They always have a young team. But they just never had a chance to get over the hump and get back in the playoffs and win a playoff series. It's been too long.
Jordan needs to get his ass back out there.
That's a fact.
I kind of expect the same thing. I think Atlanta is going to pull this one out. I don't find any of these two teams threatening. Obviously, I think these are like two of the lower seeds. Atlanta. Yeah. I think they were like I don't want to say flash in the pan. I think they were a comet flying through the sky last year. They just turned on, they pissed off Trae Young at the right time. He's like, oh, okay, we're going to go through. And, they went deep into the playoffs last year.
They did.
But I think this year they kind of fell back, and especially towards the end of the season, they weren't playing as well as they have shown to be.
Yeah, not last season. Yeah, last season coming into the playoffs, they were hot. Yeah. They were a red hot team going into the playoffs.
So, Atlanta's playing at home. I expect this to be a home game. It should be, pretty easy for Atlanta to sweep through. I don't expect Atlanta to go any deeper than this first round, That's just kind of my prediction. I mean, LaMelo is nice. He's had a good season, but I think Atlanta's going to pull this.
The winner
I got Atlanta beating Cleveland and going to 8 and playing Miami.
And playing the Heat. Yeah, I was going to ask that. So the winner of this game has to play Cleveland, and the winner of that game will play the number 1 seed, Miami Heat.
Yeah, I got Atlanta just because they have that difference maker in Trae Young. I mean, that guy alone can change a game. And we all know in basketball, you can have that one guy that can literally put a game on its head. And that's why I was going to say, like, we can transition that over to our preview now. So we go over to Miami versus TBD. So either Cleveland, Charlotte, Atlanta. I think we all said Atlanta going in. So let's go based off of that. I think no matter who Miami plays, they should win that first round pretty easy. I think the scariest team is Atlanta, because you have someone like Trae Young, but Miami has too much firepower and they're too good on defense. Like that should be an easy victory.
Yeah, honestly, as a team overall, defense, offense, their role players, the bench, they're just a complete team.
Just the depth
the Hawks this year.
Yeah.
First round, I could give the Hawks winning a game. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I'd say 4-1, moving on to the next round.
I agree. Yeah, I got that. I got them winning a home game. That's about it.
Yeah,
so whoever wins.
Yeah. No, usually for the 1-8 seed, you could almost always predict a sweep. But like you said, like with that firepower with Trae Young, and they have other role players as well. They got some shooters on that team. They might steal a game.
Yeah, this first round against Miami, whoever Miami has to face, I think it's going to be pretty easy, which is kind of different from what I expected, because I kind of expected going into this that we're going to probably play Brooklyn. But, obviously,
got lucky.
The way the seeds, you see getting lucky. I'm not scared of Brooklyn. I'm not scared. The East in general and the NBA got better, so you're going to face.
You don't want to see them in the first round, bro.
I'll play whoever, bro. I don't care. I'm not scared. Like, we're gonna have to face a tough teams anyways. Like, everybody like, oh, let's get an easy first round. No, man.
It doesn't matter.
You gotta play a team, bro. You gotta play a team, especially when you're playing hot.
It matters.
Give me the toughest team. Get it over.
Yeah, just get it over. I have to face you eventually. Like, we're not. So that's it for, I guess, that kind of round. The number one.
All right. Next one. We got Boston versus Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Yeah. Ooh, let me start with this one. I think this series is gonna go to a game 7.
Wow.
I think this is gonna be a first round game 7 series. Both teams are amazing. Like I said, this Brooklyn Nets team is not an easy 7 seed, bro. That number means nothing. If everyone is healthy on that team, they're gonna battle it out in Boston. Home court takes the win, and you're gonna have to steal one away to win this series, because both crowds are gonna be insane, especially in Boston. I say it's gonna be more hype in Boston than it is in Brooklyn. That's what the series is gonna come down to.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
Boston
exciting.
in 7.
You got Boston in 7? Wow.
Boston in 7.
Boston in 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be close. I think
you said home court's gonna play a big part.
Yeah.
I don't think they're losing at home.
And Boston, I think, is a more complete team. They've had a really good year. They're probably, one of the teams I'm most afraid of, because they can play both sides of the ball, and their guys are playing like pretty much lights out. So that's a really tough matchup. We know KD and Kyrie are gonna score. We know that. But it's like, can you lock it down? Because I think defensively, Boston's a way better team. Y'all got Boston in 7. Give me Boston in 6.
6?
I thought about that.
I was thinking that as well.
6.
I was thinking a 6-game series, but since I'm going for Brooklyn, I say 7. If they gotta get the series.
I was thinking that as well, but you do. I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's like you got KD and Kyrie, and if they're both firing and they're healthy,
they're not gonna get walked all over, bro. Listen, that series, I can't remember last season. I could be wrong. Did that go to game 7? Because I know Brooklyn was leading 2-0.
Yes, against Milwaukee.
Bucks came back 2-2, and then they went back and forth from there on.
Yeah, I believe it was game 7. Yeah.
Like, Milwaukee lost 2 games by like 20 points, the first 2. Like, they lost bad. And then they won the first game at home. It was a very close game. They got the win they needed.
Didn't Giannis drop like 50 in one of those games or something like that?
In that series, I don't know. He did in the finals, I think. He dropped 50 or 45 or some shit. But Brooklyn was ahead early, and it just came down to home court advantage, and then they somehow beat Brooklyn last year. Like, it's ridiculous. All right, what's the next
game? Got Milwaukee versus Chicago, 3-6.
That's easy, Milwaukee, and 5 or 6. And I say that because Bulls, they had a great season, great turnaround, but they had injuries. Caruso got injured. Your boy Lonzo Ball is out. He's out for the season, man. That's a key part. DeRozan's been balling, but he somehow dropped out of the MVP conversation. I don't know what happened in the second half of the season. He's not even in that conversation anymore. The first half, he definitely was. So I'm not really sure where the Bulls stand, but to get over the defending champs in Milwaukee, it's just lights out, man. Like, That's a tough
Weren't
team.
the Bulls at one point like in second place or something like that?
Early on, they played well early.
Top 3 in the first half. They were up there.
They played very well in the beginning of the season.
It's all about your streaks, man.
It's the injuries. They play a big part. A couple key players go down, and it's like, what are you gonna do? Next man up.
I think I got Milwaukee in 5.
Milwaukee 5.
Yeah. I think this is a boring series as well. Like this is like the Miami. Miami plays is pretty much boring in the East.
I'm honestly not excited for this Bulls team right now. I don't feel any energy, any hype.
If it was early Bulls team, I'd be like Milwaukee in 6. But I think I'm gonna go 5 now. I think they're not gonna get 2 wins.
Yeah, I'll take Milwaukee as well. All right, so the last series that's gonna be played will be the 76ers versus Toronto Raptors.
Ooh.
Now,
I learned to never sleep on Toronto. They somehow get some wins in the playoffs. Ever since that championship season, they're always good playoff contenders. 76ers, I always laugh at them in the playoffs because you never know what you're gonna get, bro.
Yeah,
I seen that 76ers team play live when I went to Phoenix against top seed in the West. Obviously, not going to be an easy game. It was close towards the third, and then Suns just ran away with it in the fourth quarter. Made it look simple. But against Toronto, they have some key players there as well. I'd say 76ers are going to go away with it. I feel like it's going to be a 6-game series.
6 games?
76ers.
I feel like Sixers should win it, but I just have no faith in the Sixers. I just feel like they're so just disorganized and just you don't know what you're going to get from them.
You might have the
Doc
MVP
Rivers. Doc Rivers just looks lost half the time.
MVP.
They're a better team, but it's just you just don't know their consistency when it comes to the playoffs is just non-existent. But with that being said, I think Philly. I think James Harden might show up. I can see this Game 7, man. I can see Game 7 of Philly.
Philly. I like that, man. Listen, talk about a team getting hot at the right time. I think Toronto is also a scary team. It's also a team that kind of scares me with the Celtics. And like you said, I don't know what Philly team we're gonna get. You never know, man. As far as offensively, we know that Embiid and James Harden can score, but they're kind of parallel to the Nets. But what team are we going to see out there? I'm gonna go Toronto, man. Give me Toronto in 6 games. I know they're
Toronto in 6.
First
Toronto
upset
in 6, man.
So I got Philly in 7. He's got Toronto in 6. Jojo, who do you have?
I said Philly in 6.
Philly in 6. Okay.
I think this is also going to be an exciting series. This series with
I'm in the middle.
The Celtics Nets series should be exciting. But let's cross over to the West Coast.
Western.
We out.
All right. First game, we got Phoenix versus TBD, either San Antonio, the Clippers, and New Orleans.
Pelicans. Yeah.
Not the Clippers.
Also, you got the Clippers coming out. They're going to play the Suns.
That's what you told me. Oh, who's coming out? Oh.
Yeah, who's coming out? Either way,
the Clippers should. The Clippers should. Yeah, I mean,
who do they have to play?
The winner of San Antonio.
San Antonio, New Orleans play today, and then the winner of that plays.
That's such a boring game.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it.
San Antonio Pelicans. Oh,
I'm not watching play. I'm protesting the play-in games. I'm not watching it until.
What is that? Honestly, I don't want to see either team in the playoffs, bro.
See, this is why play-ins is trash. This is why
I don't want to see either team in the playoffs.
The play-ins only worked, and I still believe that the only reason why they did it was to get LeBron into them and
to help LeBron get it. LeBron's
now once I guarantee you, when this motherfucker retires, they're not gonna somehow get rid of it. They're not gonna care.
Give LeBron an extra shot of getting.
All right, but let's just say we have Phoenix, LA. Who are you taking? I got Phoenix. Phoenix sweep.
That's a true number 1
Phoenix
seed.
sweep.
That's a true number 1 seed.
Get out the brooms,
bro. They are too good, bro. They are.
I could possibly see LA taking one at home, possibly, but I still think it's a sweep.
Listen, if Chris Paul, please and I pray, if he stays healthy this postseason, Suns ain't losing.
Suns should win it all. Yeah.
Let's go to the next series.
Next game.
Minnesota secured their number 7. Yeah, the Minnesota secured the number 7 seat. They'll be playing Memphis Grizzlies. Jojo, who do you like in this series?
Listen, man, Ja Morant's the truth. Like, that guy's the truth. But the energy in that young T-Wolves team, I wouldn't be surprised if they got 2 games out of Memphis.
They're coming off a chip, dude.
Listen, I know
they're coming off a chip.
Yes, and they got the NBA Finals MVP on that team. I could see Memphis in 6.
I got Memphis in 5.
Wow, I got Memphis in 6. I like Memphis. I've been on that team a couple years ago when they were the underdogs in the playoff run. I think they might have been in the playoff. Yeah. I think it was during the bubble. And
they were. And they got a series win.
Damn, y'all really think Minnesota's going to take 2?
No, they could take 2. Listen,
I got 5.
The Grizzlies, they're not the Suns, bro.
They're not the Suns, but I don't know. I don't like Minnesota. But anyways,
I mean,
this one should.
No, go ahead. Anthony Edwards could take over a game.
Yeah, sure. Next series. Golden State versus Denver.
Ooh.
This is a good one. This is a good one. We got reigning MVP.
I really like this one. I like this
reigning MVP versus Steph.
I like this one.
I mean, as far as preview, this is also an exciting series on the West Coast. It's gonna probably be tough for me to watch, especially start playing in California. I'm too sleepy.
Oh yeah.
Damn, that's a tough first round because either team that goes down, it's sad to say they went down in the first round. Like they both deserve to go in a deep playoff run. Warriors got the complete package. They got the complete team back. They have that championship team back. Klay Thompson's back. Been shooting lights out. He's been playing pretty efficient.
He's been gone for fucking ever, man. That guy was gone for literally.
I know Draymond was injured a little bit. I think by All-Star. He's back though. Listen, we know what the Warriors can do at 100% capacity, and I wouldn't be surprised if they walked away with this one.
Real quick, when was the last time we saw the Big 3 back in a playoff game with the Golden State?
Since the finals when Klay went down, 17? Right?
Yeah.
Since when
KD was still playing
down?
When KD
17?
Last time.
Bro.
Yeah.
5 years ago?
Wait, since Toronto, right? Since Toronto won? That's when Klay went down? With KD?
Series.
They both went down.
Either way, bro, it's been a long time.
And then got injured again at practice, right? And then he had to miss another season. It's ridiculous.
It's been a long time, and it's finally back.
You know what? I think it's gonna be a wake up call for the fans. I think they're gonna remind everyone.
They're gonna get hot. They're gonna be like, "We back, motherfucker." I got Golden State in 6.
Well, aside from the Big 3, man, they got Jordan Poole on that team. They have a lot of other role players who just been killing it since Klay was out. Like, it's ridiculous how good. Remember when Steph had to hold down the whole season last year to get him in the play-in. Yeah. Like, they didn't even deserve to go to play-in. He carried them on their back. Like, that team was supposed to be a rebuilding from scratch. And look at them now. Like, I honestly consider them championship contenders. Same coaching style. You know what I mean? Like,
Golden State in 6. What y'all got?
Golden State in 6. I'm gonna say Golden State in 7. 7-game series right here.
Y'all are like Golden State, huh?
Oh, we didn't even talk about Denver yet. Well, how are we disrespecting?
Yeah, I say we're talking about Denver. Like,
what do you even
like? That's just in the entire year. Jokic probably gonna win MVP. You know what I mean? Man, y'all like
that
Denver? Y'all like Golden State in 7.
I like the experience, man. And I think there's going to be a certain energy when like all them back finally in a playoff run. There's going to be a certain
going to hit, and they're going for another championship. We know that's the goal. They're only getting older. Every year is a championship.
I'm going against
that stadium's going to be. I mean, that arena's going to be fucking bumping. Like it's going to be. I don't see Denver winning one there. That's the thing. I don't see Denver winning one there.
In Golden State.
There's no shot. Like, no way. With that crowd, like, no way they're winning that.
But listen, Denver's good, man. They're not one of these lower-level teams.
Yeah. No, I understand. But, like, you think they're going to win in San Francisco?
Nah, at home. Same series as the Nets and Celtics. I'm seeing that on the West side over here. It's gonna.
I can see 6. I'm saying 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if I saw 7. But I still have
I'm
Golden
calling
State.
Golden State in 7. 7-game series.
I'm gonna go opposite, man. I'm going Denver in 7, man. I think Denver's been the most consistent team. If Denver wants to win, what they do is fucking drain that clock. Drain that clock to fucking 4 seconds left. Keep the ball out of Steph's hand because we know Steph is gonna go off.
It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna.
Really
let's just say too, like there's gonna be a team that just fumbles. Like they're great in the regular. There's going to be a team that's just going to fumble. We don't know who it's going to be.
We think it's going to be the 76ers.
Well, I mean, we always accept the 76ers are going to be that way. But I mean, for some reason I could see Denver just fumbling it. Like I could see them for whatever. I don't know why I'm getting that feeling.
Who's the higher seed?
Golden State.
Golden State is.
So technically, honestly, if Denver wins, that's the upset, regardless.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. They have to win away, and I don't see that happening. Like I don't see that. No way Steph and Clay and Draymond and all them boys are going to be losing a Game 7 at home.
Bro, listen, Nuggets play hard. They got Nikola Jokic. Like this guy is a different animal, man. Like top 3.
I know, man. I know. But I think atmosphere plays a factor. I feel like it plays a factor. All right, final game. We're going to preview.
Final series.
This is also a good one. Dallas versus Utah.
Ooh. You know what's crazy about this? I feel like Utah puts out the same team every year. Like, we know they're good enough for the playoffs, but again, like, maybe after the first round, like Donovan Mitchell, that man needs some help, bro. He can't do it all. And if Rudy Gobert don't show up on a defensive end, if he gets cooked, like that's downhill for that team. Now on the other hand, Dallas, every year for the last 3 years, we've been saying this boy Luka is going to be MVP contender.
Give this man some help.
And Dallas is going to be a top 3 seed. I truly feel like Dallas doesn't have what it takes to get to the next round.
Give him some. He needs help, man. He needs help. We saw that last year. Yeah, he tried his heart out to get, but it's just there wasn't enough firepower on that team.
I'm going Jazz. Damn, this might be a close one too. I don't know if I want to call 6 or 7. I'm gonna let you go first, Gabe.
You gonna let me go first?
I'm gonna let you go first. I don't know on this one. I don't know.
Like Luka, he's probably the most unique player on that team. For a guy who doesn't look like he should be playing basketball really good, he does play really well. He's an absolute scorer. I think the Jazz, they've played more complete. I think they're a more complete team.
For sure.
I think the Mavericks will give you an exciting night, but I think a more complete team will be the Jazz.
If Luka has a bad game, Dallas is going to have a bad
100%.
Yes.
Because there's not enough firepower. It's not deep. They're not deep. They don't have enough firepower.
And you can't expect him to be the hero every game and hit the buzzer beater. Like it usually comes down to that with Dallas. And he's 50-50. We seen him knock him down. We seen him miss him. You never know.
I'm going to go Jazz. Jazz and 6. Give me Jazz and 6.
I agree with Gabe. I got Jazz and 6.
It is. We're going.
Wow, it's the first one. We all agree on the final one. We all agree on the final one.
Jazz and 6. I needed to hear Gabe's analysis before I made my prediction. He knows a little something, you know?
He's got sources.
With that age, there's knowledge.
Yes, there's wisdom.
And with knowledge and wisdom, it takes time to acquire it. So we'll be back next week. We're going to talk more NBA stuff. We're going to talk MLB stuff. NFL is going on. Soccer. I know, Julian, you're watching soccer. We're going to talk about soccer. UFC is going on. All the sports all the time. Real Fan Podcast. Jojo, tell them where they can find us.
All right. Again, like every episode, aside from Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you can find us at your local Publix, Walmart, Food Bazaar, New York, Western Beef. We out here. All the supermarkets. All the supermarkets.
Ralph's, Food Lion.
So y'all know the deal. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We appreciate all the downloads. Appreciate checking us out. We'll be back next week. Real Fans Podcast.